Hey, it's me, Desmodi, and welcome to the Wizard's Lair item shop. Or rather, the item shop is downstairs. You can call me Moat. I'm a shopkeeper by trade, but a slacker at heart. And my hobbies include drawing, video games, and reading. I used to go to the library like once a week until in 2020 when the library closed, and I basically entirely stopped reading since. It's 2022, my immunizations are up to date, my library card is renewed, my hat's on backwards, and I am ready to party. Back when I first really got into reading, I used to go to Booktube for recommendations. Back then I didn't think content creation was in my future, but I like daydream about making my own videos or being part of the community. And lately I've been really inspired, so I think it's time for me to start making my own videos. And with that, let's get the tag started.
Why did you start this channel?
I don't actually intend for this channel to be entirely booktube. I mostly just want to share things that I like and talk about things. I have a really hard time having like opinions about things or even like admitting that I like things. Even though I have like a billion hobbies and niche interests, it's something that I need practice talking about. I get kind of weirdly embarrassed to be kind of like sincere about things that I enjoy, and I don't want to be like that.
What are some fun and unique things you can bring to Booktube?
So if you mostly consume Booktube content, you might be confused about why I look like this, or what is this, what's going on, where am I? I am a virtual content creator or a VTuber. There isn't a lot of crossover between virtual content creators and booktubers, so hopefully this is like fun and new experience for someone. I just want to be creative and talk about things that I like.
What are you most excited for about this new channel?
I'm excited to get back into reading. For a few years, I was reading a ton. And then when the library shut down because of the damn pandemic, I completely fell off of reading. I'm also just excited to be engaged in hobbies and communicating with people again and doing anything that isn't just like working in the shop. Done a lot of working in the shop for the past 2 years. It's been very stressful. I actually feel like in terms of like the whole like 2020 experience, like as a reader, I had like the opposite of what is like the majority. Like a lot of people when they went into like lockdown, they're like, oh, I started reading again, it was great. And I stopped reading because I couldn't go to the library, and I was also just like too stressed to even begin to concentrate on a book. Like it was not happening. Personally, I don't believe in like reading slumps though. I'm like, if I don't feel like reading, I'm gonna do something else though. So like whatever, it wasn't the time, but now is the time for books and reading and going to the library and living my life.
Why do you love reading?
Escapism, 1000%. Love getting lost in a book. It's like guilt-free daydreaming. It's been like an absolutely disgusting amount of time in my own head, thinking about things I want to do that I won't end up doing, worrying about things that aren't in my control. I always feel like I'm stuck in my own thoughts, so books are like really good for being unstuck.
What book or series got you into reading?
Harry Potter by Hatsune Miku. And my controversial take is that the movies are better. I don't have a bias towards it though, because I did not read them as a child. I read them at the age of 22 and I was like, I don't know about these. I don't know if they hold up.
What questions would you ask your favorite booktubers?
What deity did you have to perform a blood sacrifice to be able to read in a moving vehicle or while listening to music? Because I don't think I'll ever be able to do either of those things, but I see people doing it in every other reading vlog, and I want it. I want it for me. I don't think I'll ever not be motion sick though. I spend so much time on public transportation though that it's like I wish I could use that time for anything, but I can't do anything.
What challenges do you think starting a Booktube channel will be the hardest to overcome?
I work a full-time job, and Booktube isn't the only thing I'm interested in terms of content, so I wonder how I'll be able to manage like all my aspirations. I want to do a little bit of everything, which is my problem. Don't have time for that. Also have to work. The shop, it doesn't run itself, so unfortunately.
When did you start reading?
Actually read below grade level for like a lot of my childhood. Like I'm pretty dyslexic, so, and by the time that I had like caught up with being able to read at grade level, I was already like a teenager, so like I didn't care about books. I was all about like video games and anime by then. I consider when I like started reading, like actually like got into books like a lot, probably like sometime in 2018, which is when I started going to the library all the time, and it's when I discovered Booktube.
Where do you read? Most accidentally skip this question, but usually reads at work when there are no customers around. What kind of books do you like to read?
My favorite genre are fantasy and science fiction. I read both young adult and adult fiction. Sometimes I read manga. Lately I've been really into reading more yuri and like girls love stuff. But I'll read anything. I like weird stuff though. I almost never DNF. Even if I like hate a book, I will hate read books. I'm that bitch. But anything weird, just as long as it's not boring. Pretty much if a book is like extremely overly boring, and I feel like I even have kind of a high threshold for like what is considered boring for me. But like that's like the only reason why I will DNF a book. I almost always finish everything, so. But anyway, that's a little bit about me. I have some videos that I have planned already. I want to do a review of weird books that I've read from the staff pick section of my library, and like books that I've found in tiny libraries. Read some weird ones, okay? Also want to make videos about other stuff, but yeah, so I hope you'll stick around, subscribe, and I will be here. Bye.